Well, we're in the engine compartment of our 1968 Buick GS 400 convertible. Take a look and see what we can find under here. It is the original engine. I'm sure Rod's checked the numbers on it, but this motor, there's no question, it's never been out of the vehicle. It has the original air cleaner on it, which is very difficult to find. Most of the people replace these with the original GS 400 designation on the air cleaner, and on the valve pan covers also. It has the original quadrajet carburetor on it that this car was released with. It has power steering, power brakes, new master cylinder, dual stage, as you can see. Factory air conditioning that does function. All new belts. Fairly new hoses. The heater is still hooked up. All the air conditioning lines are nice and fresh looking. Condenser is unmarred in any way. Brand new battery. Does have an updated HEI ignition system on it, General Motors HEI ignition. The engine compartment is just as sweet as you could possibly find one. I believe these motors made an advertised 340 horsepower. They were usually underrated somewhat at that point in time. All the companies did that. Insurance purposes. The fender wells are the original fender wells, still painted semi-flat black the way they should be. The car appears to be one repaint, but not painted inside the fender wells or anything. So it's mostly an original car with one repaint that I can see. Original sound deadener insulation still intact underneath the hood. Plug wires are new to go with the new HEI cap and coil. New vacuum advance on the distributor also. High capacity radiator because of the air conditioning. 4-pass. Everything under this engine compartment is just as nice as it should possibly be. It looks all original. Has all the original stickers everywhere on it. The chrome on the air cleaner is real nice, which is a big plus. Those are very, very hard to find. Everything is original under here. You've got a nice looking car underneath the hood. Let's see what's on the outside. Hi, you're at Hankster's in Daytona Beach, Florida, and today our guest on the floor is a 1968 Buick GS 400 convertible, the correct color red that it was released with. Nice driving car. I did have a chance to go and drive the vehicle. It really runs well, which you'll see in our video presentation, the drive video that Devin and I are going to do. But let's go over to the outside, see what we can find on this vehicle. I did drive it briefly. I know mechanically it's sound, but let's see what it is cosmetically. We're going to go over everything with you here at Hankster's. Not trying to hide anything from you. If it's a defect, if there's something wrong, I'm going to point it out to you. Okay, paint on the hood. Very, very nice paint job on this car. Could use a good waxing, but other than that, I don't see anything at all on it. Buick designation in the front is nice. Fender fitment to the hood, very, very nice. Clean up to the windshield, the cowl area, about 1/8 of an inch the whole way across on both sides. What the heck? This ends up a little bit. So is this. Something not quite. Well, there's the issue. Definitely have to adjust the hood, tie it down a little bit tighter, and then everything fits as it should. See how everything lines up there now? So we have to adjust that. This, I know, is a very, very rare item. In '68, the only year they did this, they offered this hood scoop in the rear of the hood, and it came with 2 chrome darts, one on each side. That chrome piece across the back is like unobtainable, and so are these. A friend of mine has one of these in blue, same thing in a convertible in blue, and I know he's been hunting for about 3 years because his is bad. The chrome is bad on it, and he wants to have it redone. No one will redo it for him. He's trying to find a replacement and cannot find a replacement for it. He absolutely cannot. That's a very rare item. This car has one, and it's in excellent condition too. There's really nothing wrong with it. Headlights in the front have the original Argent type paint around. The chrome on them around the bezels is really, really nice. Again, our fitment, which we know we're going to adjust, and it's going to be just fine. The trim pieces across the nose are really, really nice. Same deal here as soon as we tighten that down. Again, the trim around the headlights just as sweet as can be. Original bumper, not a rechrome. This thing is the original one, there's no question. Original argent paint on the grill. What the heck? Must be a bolt missing on the grill on this side. That needs to be tightened up. That's another item that we'll address. So we found two problems for you. Adjust the hood, put a nut on it, and then tighten the grill for you. Other than that, plastic on the grill is really nice. GS designation because it is definitely a real GS. Bumper chrome is very nice and original. Front marker lights, turn signals, parking lights. The lenses are very, very nice on it. Fitment of the bumper is very good side to side. Laterally it's nice, and adjustment-wise you're not going to put it much better. We just have a couple little issues on the front that we can address easily, and you got a perfect front end to the car. A little tiny bit of a ding right there, not much of anything. We'll get our dent guy to give it a one tweak and it'll be okay. Let's see what's on the side. Okay, down the driver's side of our GS 400, side marker light, nice and clean the way it should be. Paint's really nice on this car. It's above driver quality. It's much nicer than the driver quality car. Again, the chrome and the silver between the fins on this chrome on the scoop part in the back is as nice as you'll ever find one. Very, very rare to find that thing in that condition. Wheel lip molding, absolutely nothing. Buick GS 400 designation on the side. Fender to the door is as sweet as you'd ever find one. Kelsey wheels on this. That was an optional wheel that actually Chrysler had first, of course, 1966. But GM also had them made, and so did Ford. Oldsmobile had basically the same wheel on it, but these are a set of Kelsey wheels with the original Buick designation centers on them, caps. Nice addition to the car, nice option. Really makes it pop out at you. Tinted windshield, correct wiper arms and blades on this particular vehicle. Dashboard area, very, very, very nice on it. A couple little stains, one there and one there that can just be cleaned up. But other than that, very, very nice on the dash area. Trim around the front of the windshield, really nice, very, very nice. Wing area, really nice. A little bit of patina on the top of the mirror, chrome. A couple little pits on the side, but you would not change it. I'm sure it's a remote adjust. It is remote adjust mirror. Paint on the door. Fitment of the door to the quarter to the or the fender to the rocker is really, really nice. Whiskers wipes are still fairly nice on the car. Same with the back. Trim around the back window is nice. Door handle very, very nice and original. Fitment to the quarter from the door is really nice the same way. Notice the top is up. We don't have the top down. You'll see pictures of the vehicle with the top down. The devil will shoot. We left the top up so that you can see the top is absolutely brand new on this vehicle. There's no issues whatsoever with it. Glass rear window. Trim around the back. Really, really nice on the back part of this vehicle. Quarter panel, the same way. No marks on this fender lip also. No dings, no marks down the side of this vehicle. Nice tin. No Bondo or anything on it. I'll tell you, down the side of this car is as straight as you're going to find one. We've been really lucking out lately, especially with the GM stuff. Finding it with no waves or no dings or no warbles or anything in the doors from trauma through the years. And this car is the same as the Chevelles and that we've been shooting lately. It's as laser straight down the side as you'll ever find. Really nice side of the car. Front end is nice except for a couple of small adjustments. Top is brand new. Let's see what's on the back. Okay, we're on the back end of our 1968 GS 400 Buick. Let's see what we can find here. Again, the paint is really, really, really nice. A good wax job, and this thing would be, you'd have to wear some sunglasses. Really a beautiful paint job on it. Again, the The little darts going down the trunk that coincide with the ones on the hood. Back one's a little wider, front one's narrow to a point. Kind of a nice engineering thing that they did there, a nice design area. GS 400 designation. The fitment, about 1/8 of an inch the whole way around. It's a really nice fitting trunk. Nice on this side. Just like the hood, it needs a little bit of adjustment. Somebody didn't want to tighten things down apparently, but we have to adjust that for you too. Bumper fitment, the rubber ends. Real nice fitment, real nice gap the whole way around on this thing. Chrome is absolutely beautiful on it. Neat feature on this car, it has a concave rear bumper. And the trunk also has a concave curvature to it whenever you see it from the back. It looks a little wider on the sides than it is, and then goes in toward the center. Really nice touch, really great. Tail lights, they're hidden down in there, but they're there. Real wide and real narrow. Lenses are absolutely gorgeous. Again, the chrome on the bumper is just exemplary. 2 turn down chrome exhaust tip extensions on it. Really nice back end of this car. I like this thing. This is a good looking car. A couple little panel adjustments and that's it. Nice car. Let's see what's on the side. Okay, passenger side of our GS 400. Again, you can see the bumper fitment is absolutely beautiful. Nice tin, nice sharp tin on the bottom. Paint again as sweet as you could ever. There's something I never noticed before. The rear side marker lamp has the Buick, the 3-flag Buick insignia on it. How about that? That is really neat touch on this vehicle. Again, trim around the back, around the convertible top surround is really sweet as can be. Paint on the quarter panel, I don't know how you could get much nicer. No marks, door dents on the fender lip molding. Quarter panel to door, really nice fitment. Door handle the same way as the other side, really nice. Tinted glass the whole way around on this vehicle, obviously. It has air conditioning, so they did it on the sides also. Great window fitment, very nice. You can stand here with a hose and try to get water in this thing, and I don't think you can. I don't see a gap anywhere. Nice fitment of the glass against the rubber seal on the rear window. Fuzzy's original yet, and still there. Paint on the door, fitment to the rocker panel. Really nice on the car. Again, the wing area, about as nice as you're going to ever find. Trim around the base of the window and around the window surround, windshield surround. Really, again, as nice as you can get. A little tiny mark on this piece of trim here that you never even say anything about. Another Mickey Mouse antenna. I never figured these out yet, but there's a Mickey Mouse antenna on it. Door to the front fender, really sweet. Again, the chrome on these Buick vent style panels that they put on are really nice. GS 400 designation. Trim around the front wheel, just as sweet as could be. Again, bumper fitment nice. Front marker light. Tell ya, this is a nice car. Down the sides too, same as the other side. I mean, there's no warbles on the door and the fenders, quarter panels, nothing. Just as laser straight as you'd ever want to find. Laser straight in the term, being that everything is lining up as it should. There is some curvature, a little bit of swell to the rear quarter panels, just like on Roadrunners, Chevelles. They have the same, and it has a body contour to it also. Some nice sculpting that Buick has added to these vehicles. Kelsey wheels really make it look good. BFG white letter tires give it a lot of pop to it. Brand new convertible top. It is a GS 400, kind of a rare car. They didn't make anywhere near as many of these as the 396 Chevelles. This car will run with any 396 Chevelle you bring around. These cars are really strong cars. They'll run with any 350 horse 396 that you can put it up against. Upgraded interior from a Chevelle. A little heavier car, quieter, smoother, a little more refined than a Chevelle would be. maybe not quite as sporty, but a lot classier. It's a whole different vehicle, a whole different marketplace. Again, you know, the numbers of Buick GS 400s that were produced is very, very small in comparison to some of the other GM cars of this era. You have to take a look at this car. It's a really nice running car. I did drive it, and the car does rip. It's a nice running car, solid. There's absolutely no issues cosmetically other than a couple of minor adjustments that we pointed out for you. It's a nice car. It's available here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. And check out the price on this one. You're going to flip out whenever you see what we can sell you this car for. Okay, we're inside our GS 400 convertible. Liner, the pads, everything inside the top are just as fresh as the outside that you see. Whenever they did this, they apparently really went the whole way and put new pads, new everything in it. It's really, really nice. Does have a boot with it. Seat belts, front and rear in this particular car. The seating appears to be the original vinyl that this car was released with. I don't think it's ever been replaced. The door panels are original. All the software on the door panels that you see. There's a couple little tiny imperfections, but nothing that you'd ever even point a finger at. The door cranks, or door handles, the window cranks, even for the wings, are all nice and really nice looking. The chrome on them is really nice, as it is in the back. Ashtrays in the back of this. I'm telling you, these late 60s, middle 60s cars, everybody must have smoked back then. Everybody has ashtrays in the back. Again, the vinyl on the rear seat, the front seats, just as nice and sweet as can be. The padded dash is original and still has a lot of resilience to it. You can see it's still nicely padded, not cracked anywhere, no imperfections. Original sun visors, and they are just as they were in 1968. No fading or milking on the mirror surface for the rear view mirror. Original Buick radio, the original speedometer and gauge cluster is still just as nice and clean as can be, and the surround is really, really nice. A couple little orange spots from someone putting the light on and off through the years. They wore through the silver paint here. You could hit it with a little dust, which we may do, and a little dust some silver on it, and you'll never see that. Surround the surround around the radio is just as nice and clean as can be. The silver paint's real nice on it. Vents, of course, for the air conditioning. Steering wheel. Yeah, it's a little tiny. There are some very, very tiny, and I mean tiny. I can't even hardly fit my fingernail in them if I push even. Cracks from shrinkage on the steering wheel through the years, but all in all, the wheel's very nice. You certainly would not replace it. You really have to look to see them, but they are there. I am pointing it out that they are there. Carpeting has a little bit of fade. Again, we're dealing with a car with a lot of originality. I mean, from what I can see, this car is like 80% all original other than the paint in the outside. Carpeting needs a little bit of black dye, which we may or may not do. A set of aftermarket speakers in the kick panels that the panels are actually made as an enclosure for that speaker, which is a added benefit to the standard radio that they have in here. It is a power top. It does function as it should. I don't see anything in this car that I can call a negative to. I really don't. I mean, the door panels, the panels in the back, all of it still retains all its originality. It certainly doesn't need any replacement or any repairs anywhere. There's no beating or cracking or anything in any of the vinyl in these seats. Again, the seat belt's all present. It's a nice car. It's a nice running car. Presents itself well. It's again, probably 80% original, you know, as far as the paint inside the doors, the original interior, the originality underneath the hood. It's a really nice straight Buick GS 400, and it's available at Hanksters, so check this one out. Okay, in our 68 Buick, the air is blowing icicles. We have it on right now. It is nice and ice cold. Very, very nice and cold. Now, let's try the radio. Radio's not working. Try the wipers. Wipers are working. The fuel gauge is functioning. Idiot lights, no other lights on this vehicle. Right turn signal functions. Left turn signal functions. Let's go for a ride, see how this guy runs. Working. I'm going to try that radio again. Radio is working. It does work. Car goes down the road real nice. Try the brakes. Stops well. Better stay in my own lane here. Speedometer's working as it should. It's a nice running car. Very nice running car. Horn is not working. You got the wipers right, they were working. I'll put them on again. Wipers working. What's wrong with the car? Where do these things? Yeah, it's a nice running car. Nice running car. Pulls real well, nice steady pull on it. Tranny shift's nice and solid. Nice Buick convertible. Gs 400. Hi, we're underneath our 1968 Buick GS 400 convertible. Automatic, power steering, power brakes, power top, and factory air conditioning. But we're going to do the undercarriage right now, give you a presentation of what we can see. It's the first time I've been under it, so you and I are looking at it together at the same time. New shocks in the front, heavy-duty sway bar, which would be part of the GS 400 package. Heavy-duty drums finned in the front. Ball joints look good. The rubber bushings on the front A-arms look real nice on it. The motor appears to have been out of the car and freshened up, and you can see no oil leaks whatsoever on it. New starter, cooling line still intact, originally installed from the factory and still good. Would be a turbo tranny in it. The full frame on this vehicle it's an entire full perimeter frame, and it's a box frame also, being a convertible. Really nice in the front. I don't see any marks, no jack marks, no deterioration, no rust or anything. All the holes in the frame are exactly the way they were from the factory. Floor pans, very, very nice in the car. I'm sure they haven't been replaced. They are the original floor pans, and they're in very good condition. Really, really nice condition. Original parking brake assembly, still functional, hooked up yet. Original brake lines also, and original fuel lines still hooked up on this vehicle too. Don't see anything at all out of place. Again, no leakage anywhere, none on the little tiny bit on the bell housing here, a little dampness. Probably just from not being used for a while. Nothing on the tranny pan itself. Appears to be about a 2-inch primary pipe coming off of the cast iron exhaust exhaust manifolds on this vehicle, which are the original manifolds. Rear tranny mount appears to be real nice yet. It's rubber and it doesn't appear to have been separated or anything. The cross-sectional mount that goes from one frame section to the other. Real nice, no bends, no deterioration at all. No leakage on the back of the transmission. Relatively new U-joint on the front of the drive shaft. Substructures on the floor pans, which are the original floor pans on this vehicle. They have not been replaced that I can see absolutely nowhere. And they're really nice. The substructures are real nice. No one's made any attempt to jack it up on the floor pans through the years. So they still remain just the way they were configuration-wise from the factory. Our 2-inch primary pipes transition into 2 under-chassis mufflers. Just a regular quiet set of mufflers, which a lot of guys with the Buicks don't really want that much noise. So this particular one has the original equipment style Buick mufflers that it would have come with from the factory. Again, the frame sections on both sides really nice, and where it's hard to see, but you won't see it in the video, but I can see up around where they transition onto the rocker panel area, and all the pinch welds and everything are still nice, and it's nice and clean setup on it yet. So they are definitely the original floor pans that this car was produced with. We're halfway through it. Let's see what's on the other half, but so far there's absolutely nothing. You can see, other than a tiny bit of dampness on the bell housing area, the rest of that is dry as a bone, and I'm sure that a little bit of usage and that'll clean up, and you're not going to have an issue with any leakage whatsoever. Nice car underneath so far. Let's see what's on the other half. Okay, again we have our original equipment style under chassis mufflers that would have been probably the original style muffler that came on this car in 1968. Newer U-joint in the rear of the drive shaft. Your swing arms are both really nice and solid yet. Nice strong looking springs. Actually, the springs look like they're new on the back of this car. Maybe a little sag through the years caused someone to buy 2 brand new ones, but at any rate they're new. About 1 3/4 inch pipe transitioning out of the under chassis mufflers, going to 2 chromed turn dines in the back, 1 in each corner of the bumper area, bumper quarter panel area. No dings, no marks whatsoever on the gas tank. I don't see a single mark on it. Again, the subframe sections in the back and your transitional piece that go across the back end, there's no pulls or anything on it. It looks really nice. No deterioration whatsoever. Brand new shocks in the back of this vehicle also. 10-bolt heavy duty rear end that these cars were produced with, and they never had any issues whatsoever with them. Floor pans above the gas tank and the trunk area, everything looks to be really nice and original as the rest of it. I don't see anything, guys. This is a nice solid Buick underneath. It's certainly not a show quality piece. It's more of a driver quality. Does retain most of its originality through the structural pieces. Nothing appears to have been replaced ever through the years, nor does it need replaced at this point. Your lines, everything on the under chassis, brake lines, fuel lines, cables for your parking brake assemblies, everything is original and functional and just as nice as it was when it left the factory. Nice, great, clean car underneath.